just like you've seen in the topic, it's the part 2 of our Valentine's special video. And yes, like you've seen in previous videos, the 2 videos after the Valentine special video, I told you that we'll be having a special couple to speak on the topic beyond beauty, beyond love, can your relationship still stand? Yeah, so they are here to give us their own thoughts, their own point of view on this topic. And when I saw the video, I was like, oh really, wow. So I just want my viewers to know, to get another perspective. Yeah, more so like that, yes. So yeah, let's get right into the video. With me today we have Adeola and Timothy Akinwale. So sit back and enjoy this video. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we are the Akinwales. Today we'll be answering 5 questions around the topic beyond love and beyond beauty. Can your relationship still stand? That question is a very big question.
It is.
It is a very big question, but don't worry. We'll do our best based on our knowledge, based on our experience in marriage. We'll try to answer the questions.
And based on biblical principles.
Yes, based on biblical.
That's we are.
Yes. So let's get straight into it. The first question here says, what foundational elements beyond physical attraction and love are essential for a lasting relationship? Big question. Okay, so let me start by asking my husband first. Dear, when you first saw me, what were the physical attractions, or what were the physical attributes, that you saw that made you to say, this sister is she's fine.
You know where we come from, we do what we call will of God, so
okay.
It's will of God though.
It's will of God. Yes, it's will of God. But what were the
pray.
Physical? You prayed. We know.
We pray and then we saw.
We know you prayed and you saw.
But we shine our eyes. So in the shine our eyes part, what I saw was the height, the long hair, you know, the long face, you know, that kind of a thing, you know.
Okay.
So those are part of the.
Those are part of the package.
The package, the first class.
Oh, the first. Oh, yes.
No. Yes, that's not about.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I said, we prayed, then we saw. Okay.
Yeah. So let's leave it that way. Let's leave it at that. So now, talking about the physical attributes, do you know that one very interesting thing is that now my hair is not even as long as it used to be. So that one has changed, which means physical attributes can change.
It does can change, and not even change.
And it might not even change. Because I'm still tall, and God has helped me. Even after having kids, I'm still slim, and I'm still like I'm
almost like
what I used to be. So that one has not changed.
Yeah.
And sometimes physical attributes can change. So regardless whether it changes
or doesn't change, the truth is it can't sustain a relationship.
It cannot sustain a relationship because there are even more important elements that are needed in a relationship beyond physical attraction.
Yeah. And the problem is that life challenges start coming.
Yes.
You suddenly realize that you don't need beauty does not.
Yes, beauty will not be able to solve some problems.
Yes, it can solve some problems. You know?
Beauty, physical attraction, physical attributes cannot solve problems when you face real challenges in marriage.
Real challenges in relationship.
Yes.
Not at all.
Yes.
At times you won't forget that person is beautiful.
You won't forget that person is beautiful. You forget that person is beautiful.
But that the person can sing.
And that person can sing. But then let's take a look at it. When before we got married, did you used to have that butterflies in your belly, like?
Of course, the butterfly is always there.
Me too. I used to have it. I'll say the truth.
When somebody tells you that I'm marrying this sister because she can sing, when problems start, you won't forget that the sister has a voice or the brother has a voice. So
yes,
this do not sustain a relationship.
They do not sustain a relationship. And even in the relationship, by the time you get married, that butterflies in the belly it might not still be there. It is not every time that you will be experiencing it. It might be there once in a while. But like when you face real life challenges, you don't even remember butterfly. I'm sorry for using PG. You will not even remember butterflies in the belly. Like, so these are not enough to sustain your relationship. So now the question is, what are the elements that are important in a relationship to sustain it? The first one, respect. Commitment. Commitment is very important. Commitment, because you have to commit your time, commit everything about your finance. That is even number one. Commitment. And then respect, like we said. Openness, because openness is what will build trust and transparency in the marriage, in your relationship. And aside openness, mutual respect, like I said before, and then friendship and companionship in the marriage. That is very important, because there's nothing as good as you being your husband's friend or being your wife's friend. And then one other thing again that is very important that I must talk about is shared vision and purpose, and then shared values. Your values need to align. These are fundamental elements that will sustain your relationship, beyond so that you won't have issues. Yes, beyond physical attraction. And all these elements that I've just mentioned, they are all encompassed under one umbrella, which is love. Because we also need to even understand the definition of love. Love is not butterflies in the belly. No.
It goes beyond
love that. Is not just a feeling. No. Love goes beyond that. And love is, we can define love as all these things that we have just mentioned, all these elements that we have mentioned are all encompassed within love. So
those are the things that has kept us going.
Yes, I must confess, those are the things that have kept our marriage going, and by the help of God, we keep going, we continue.
Why you got the woman? Question number two.
Let's go to question number two. Okay, so it says, how can partners maintain emotional intimacy and navigate changing needs when the initial spark fades? Okay, you want to go first?
When the initial sparks, I think that still comes to what we're saying at the first question of feelings, the butterfly. So those things don't last forever. Those things, at times it comes and go. So how do you sustain it? It still boils down to commitment, being intentional. Intentional connection is making that deliberate effort, right? Creating that time, being intentional about what you want to do. So it's not about feeling. It's about knowing that I've been committed to this, and I must do this, not because I feel like doing it. A lot of times we want to do things because we feel
like.
But if you want it to work, if you really want it to work, it's not about feeling. It's about being deliberate. It's about asking yourself, what can I do to make this work? Right? I don't feel like doing it, but I want it to work, and because I want it to work, I'm putting in this effort. So intentional connection. Intentional connection. You have to be creative about it, right? You have to be creative.
Yes. I remember sometimes, like, let's say we are probably facing challenges in the family, or maybe we have personal issues. I might just wake up one morning, I'm like, I wake up every morning wanting to be intentional to make the marriage work and to make sure the relationship keeps going and keeps getting sweet. And that is how we should be on both ends. The husband wakes up every morning and is like, okay, how can I make this relationship more spicy? How can I make this relationship sweeter? And then the wife too wakes up and is like, what can I do to make this relationship go better, to make peace reign in my family? I mean, there has to be that intentionality at every point, every day, because if not, you will just get tired, and then that initial spark is not enough.
It's not enough. So you can choose to be angry with your friends. You can choose to wake up in the morning and angry with your friend. But if you want it to work in your relationship, you can't choose that. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate about it. Another thing that you must do, I would say, it's adaptability. Love adjusts to seasons of life. There are seasons of life, right? Life happens. Your wife is pregnant at some point. At times, one person is in school. At times, the children are around, and so life happens. The changes happen, and you must learn to be adaptable. So you probably may be in Africa, and then you move to the Western world, and you suddenly realize that
these parts people struggle with it. Well, you don't have a choice.
adaptability must come in at least
Yes.
situation. You need to understand that you signed up for this and you must learn to be adaptable. Another thing is emotional vulnerability. If you want a relationship to work beyond physical attraction and the so-called feeling of love, you need to have the emotional vulnerability.
Yes.
Emotional vulnerability is saying that accepting that you have some weakness too, right? Yeah, the Bible says confess your fault one to another, right? So it's like saying I know I'm weak. Don't always try to be strong.
Yes.
Yeah, not always try
be
to be
strong woman, strong man. I think men do it. Men do it.
Yeah,
men do it most.
Yeah, we do it a lot.
Yes.
So
you're forming strong man, strong man.
So please, it's enough to cry. If you want to cry, just cry on your spouse. Go ahead. So that's you need to have that emotional vulnerability for one another. Honestly, deepens. It honestly deepens connection.
Yes.
It really does this deepen connection. So in a situation where your wife is showing that weakness and she's crying, it brings that bond. Not everybody's acting strong. All right. So another way of keeping that connection going is what we call the small daily gesture. It could just be that little
peck,
or just that flower, or that going out and seeing your wife's size of shoe and you buy it. I think I used to buy shoes. You cannot take that away from me, right? So
I have shoes.
Yeah, so the Psalms of Solomon in 2 verse 15 say, take us the little foxes that spoils the vine. So it may just be those little things that is spoiling the vine, or those little things that is taking away that romantic environment. You may need to bring it back. You need to sustain it. It's not the big money, it's not the plenty of, it's just little things, right? So that is basically, let's go to the third question.
Question 3. What role do trust, shared values, and communication play in the longevity of a relationship?
So we start with trust.
This question is deep.
Let's start with trust.
Trust, shared values, and communication. And I think I'll start with communication, because communication is the number one before the trust itself. Because the truth is that these three things, these three elements, they play a very essential role in the longevity of a relationship. If a relationship will stand or not.
Or scatter.
Everybody
go their separate way.
So, first, communication. What is communication? Communication is expressing yourself per time, all the time. You cannot be thinking your partner knows and you are not talking. Your partner is not a witch. Your husband is not a witch. He's not a sorcerer. He cannot know what is going on in your. They can have this.
But that was not what the Spirit was giving for, right?
That is not what the Spirit was giving for. Open your mouth and talk. If you're struggling, open your mouth and talk. Men can like to be forming strong man. Please open your mouth and talk. Some women, they'll be like, I don't want to talk. Open your mouth and talk. Because the problem with that is that it will keep building up in your mind. You don't express, you don't know what is going on in the other person's mind. Both of you are not talking. It keeps building up, and it will get to a point where it gets to the threshold, and the next thing is that it will do what? It will explode. And then marriage will what? Scatter.
And everybody will
go their separate way.
Even though they love themselves.
Even though there is love.
So-called.
So communication is very important. You have to talk.
Talk everything.
Say everything. Discuss everything. Discuss everything in the marriage. Because this would also build the foundation for trust. Because you know that I know what my husband is going through. I understand what my husband has communicated to me. So
if someone else, out there says your husband did this or your wife did this, you know that no.
Yes, because
you told me about it already.
Before you even said it, you can't shame the shameless. Like people say, you can't shame the shameless. I already know about it because you are open to your partner. You are open to your husband.
For example, somebody said, I saw your husband with a lady, right? And I saw them going somewhere. Are you sure your husband is not? If you happen to have told your wife about the person that, I'm going out with, it's not any big deal. You can literally say,
yes. And the third value here, the third element, shared values. Shared value is very, very essential in in determining how long your relationship will be able to stand.
That is even fundamental, cardinal in
Is
choosing the life partner.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, very cardinal in choosing a life partner. Because if you don't have shared values,
what are you even doing in the relationship?
Then what are you doing in the relationship? If I think, okay, I don't believe in tithe and offering, and my husband says I believe in tithe and offering, we will fight. Or if I say I don't believe in this thing, or what example can we even give here now? Or let's say in terms of finance, I don't believe in being open with my finance. You do your own, I do my own.
Yeah.
And my husband is saying, no, I believe in us being open. I need to know what is going on with you. And we are not sharing the same values. There will be problem.
Honestly, that is part of what you should consider as a will of God.
Yes, it should be considered. So having shared values in every area.
Yes.
It's possible that you don't have the same goal. You may not have the same goal, but your goals will align.
Yeah.
It's possible to align your goals, but that value is what will keep your relationship going.
Values is completely different from even goals.
It's different from goals.
You may want to be a professor. I may want to be a business person, right?
Yes.
So, but values is completely different.
Yes.
Values in terms of what you believe, in terms of your Christian virtues, in terms of convictions, right? They're very, very important.
Very important. Very important. So please.
Do you have any shared value?
We don't have plenty shared values, and we are here. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so very, very important. Very important.
Yes,
so
yes.
You need to put that into consideration. Okay, let's continue.
Yes. So communication fosters trust, and shared values reinforce alignment. And this will enable a relationship to thrive and stand the test of time. So let's go straight to the next question without wasting time.
Next question there. I think I like this part.
Okay. So let's go to question number 4. I'll read the question.
Okay, I think I'm doing that right.
You're answering the question. Okay. How can couples handle external pressures such as financial, societal, or familial challenges while sustaining a healthy relationship? This one is hard because you are involving external parties. So, do you want to answer it for us?
Okay, so external pressure, financial, societal, familiar. That's more like family challenges.
Yes.
Okay. While sustaining a healthy relationship. The first thing I would say is having a team mentality, a we mindset. We. So it's not like somebody is building a house for his mom in the village. The other person doesn't even know. So let's be a we thing. So what we normally do here for us since we got married is that we plan everything.
Yes.
Everything is planned. Every single thing. So if we're sending money to my parents, we are planning it together.
Yes.
And we're sending literally most time we send almost equal money, you know. So we plan, okay, yes, we're sending to this person. So everything needs to be planned. We must have a we mindset.
Yes.
You know, if you have a we mindset, you can go far. Right? So team mentality must rub up on everything, on our finance, on our spirituality, on everything, right? So and for us, it's God has been helping us. We happen to be in the same ministry. We're so privileged to be in the same what they call it, career. So there's been a lot of weird things that has kept us going. So you may not necessarily be in the same career, however, but when it comes to family things like spirituality, finance, you need to plan it. For both of us, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, or probably some people don't agree with this. Right from when we got married, we've always run a joint account. So that way we are able to track what goes in and what goes out. And I will be realistic with you that what has kept us this far financially is because we have that we mentality. We have a joint account, so there's no how I can move money and she's not aware.
And I'm not aware.
Yeah. So so the we thing has really helped us, and I'll be very frank. That has really helped me to manage my finance, because before I got married, I probably don't even know how much I have. It just goes and So the we thing has helped, right? So if you're out there, you're still struggling financially as a family, trust me, it's probably because you guys have been doing things individually. You need to come together and discuss everything, discuss how the money goes. If possible, have a joint account. I know that's a big topic to talk about, but it has helped us thus far. Another thing is setting boundaries, right? Setting boundaries, the Bible says, "You man shall leave his father and mother and cleave." Right? So if you leave but you did not fully leave, then you're not ready to have a sustained relationship. So living and cleaving, it's knowing that yes, you still belong to the family you came from. However, you have a new family now that you must make to work.
Yes.
Right. So that is just what it means to set boundaries. You need to know to what extent you can do, what you cannot do. Right. You can't do everything. You need to say this is what we can do, this is what we cannot do, and don't put yourself under pressure. No pressure. Right. So right, you may be abroad or maybe wherever you may be, and there's a lot of pressure. People are throwing this at you. You need to do this. You need to do that. We need to do that. You have to be responsible as a child, right? Well, in your responsibility, right, you need to set boundaries to say this is what we can do. At times it may be this is what we can do now.
Right? Maybe later we might be able to do more, but for now this is what we are able to handle as a family.
So you need to set that boundary.
Yes.
Right? And the third one, which I think I've touched about, is financial transparency and planning. I think we plan. We so much plan that we have plan A, plan B. She knows me for that. I will agree with you. You have to. We must plan
A, plan B, plan C.
Yes. See, if you plan everything in your life, you will go far.
Yes, that's true.
Maybe this is not the best place to say, but let me just give a hint that I didn't have the big money that people used to have before wedding. The big millions.
You have to say, I know now. You think I'm not aware.
The big millions. But we plan, like planning from day one. This is what we'll do.
Yes.
Right? I remember when I gave my wife money to go and sew a wedding gown. We planned it.
Yes.
And then she told me this is the amount the person needs for the gown. And I asked, is the person collecting the money now? Is he collecting everything now? He said, no, okay, let's plan it. We give this now.
Yes.
Right? If you plan everything, trust me, you will go far.
Yes.
So planning is fundamental in marriage.
Yes.
For us, we believe we can achieve anything. You can achieve anything if only you plan. And the good thing about planning is that you won't be taken by surprise. You will not be taken by surprise. We have never been taken by surprise by God's grace, and it's because
by God's grace and because of my husband. Of course.
We plan.
my husband is number one in planning.
So there's a big diary we've been using before we got married. We're still using that diary.
Yes.
Plan A, plan B. As 2025 have started, we have plans. Plan A, plan B.
And as the year is moving, we have more plans are still moving.
Yes, so you have to plan. So that planning must be there. Yes. You must sustain your, what do you call it now?
Yes.
All right, so another thing is support system. You need to seek wise counsel. There are times that where you really need to seek counsel. Ask people around. Don't just assume you know. You may need to ask counsel. But please ask counsel from the right people. Don't ask counsel from your friends at work who want to get an extra wife. Those ones are saying marry 2 wives or 3 wives as a way to support your problem. Don't ask counsel for this.
They are there, they are out there, so please.
Yes, however, you need counsel. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 11 verse 14, it says, where no counsel, the people fail, but in the multitude of counsel, you say what? There is safety. Yes. So ask counsel. Seek for counsel. Ask questions around. Ask questions. You're struggling there, you're struggling with whatever it may be, maybe child, maybe finance, it may be some certain difficulties. Then you need to just ask questions.
Yeah, because the truth is that there are people who have passed through that and they came out strong.
Yes.
So you finding the right people to talk to, or even the right book to read.
The right book, yes.
Right book to read.
Exactly. So I was going to say that one of the ways you can get counsel too is reading books.
Yeah.
Right. And which is my own stronghold.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not so much of people person in terms of going to ask questions from people that much, but I read books. Right, so you're planning for a wedding. How many books have you read? You want to do this, and knowledge. You need to get knowledge. Don't use your feelings. So ask questions. Read book.
Read. Don't not talk. Read.
All right, so I think that will be it. So let's go to the next question for one to time.
That should be. That's question 5. I tagged it wrongly.
Okay, question
so the
5.
fifth question. To what extent should partners adapt or change for the sake of relationship? And how can they maintain balance without losing themselves? So this question is in 2 parts. It says the first part is, to what extent should partners adapt or change for the sake of relationship? I think I'll answer that one.
Okay.
Then you answer the second part.
What's the second part?
The second part is, how can they maintain balance without losing themselves? So I'll take the first part. Marriage is all about adaptability and compromise. The truth is that when you come into marriage, you are coming, two different people from two different backgrounds are coming into a union. Our ideologies are different. We grew up in different families. The way our families were run by our parents were completely different. So you don't expect that we'll come into marriage and then it will be boom, all perfect.
Right.
No. So that is where compromise and adaptability will come into play. You compromise in some situations in order to have a win-win relationship between yourself and your husband. So compromise, coming to terms, coming to agreement on any topic or any issues that you're having. But this should not be at the cost of losing your own self. But my husband will talk about that part. I was recently sharing on my Facebook page how my husband is the one that knows how to engage people. But me, on the other hand, I'm more introverted. It's now that I'm sure when people see my videos, people are getting surprised. Like, so this woman can talk, Adeola can talk like this. What's going on?
That doesn't mean I'm an extrovert too.
No, my husband is not an extrovert. My husband is not an extrovert. But he knows how to engage people. He knows how to engage people. But myself, I'm not so good at engaging with people. Before I talk to people, I've played it in my memory. I've rehearsed it before talking. And as I'm talking, by the time I finish what I have rehearsed, where has finished. And then
that times like this, that times your friends will come around and she will just finish talking and that will be like, and I'll be asking her, you are finished, you don't have anything to tell them again. Like,
I don't know what else to say. So that is the strength. And myself, I have my own strengths. But then in marriage, we have learned to compromise. Sometimes my husband will come and join me in my conversations. And help me to make the conversation go ongoing without my visitors getting bored. So that is what marriage is about. Compromise. You come with your weakness, you come with your strength. I come with my weakness, I come with my strength, and we do what we complement each other. That is what marriage is about. And so, yeah, so there you answered the other part,
which is how to maintain balance without losing yourself. All right, so like you said, said at the beginning of the video that values needs to align, right? But visions, what do you call it, or goals in life may be quite different. Yeah, I agree. So, for example, she wants to be an academic, whereas she wanted to go into the academic, become probably professor tomorrow, right? So, for me, maybe I used to think of that before, but along the line, I wanted money.
Goals have changed.
Right, so your values doesn't change, but your goals can be different.
Yes.
So, and when you come into a relationship, you come in with some of those big dreams, some of those big things you want to do, right? Your personality and the rest of that. So we are not saying you should lose yourself, right? We're not saying lose your dream. We're not saying lose who you want to be. We're not even saying change your temperament, right? So, for example, my wife is more she's more introverted person than I am, right? So, I'm not going to say she should change herself, right? You don't need to change yourself. You just need to see how to fit into the other person. So, appreciate who you are, right? Change your dream,
please,
right? But
100%.
make sure that your dream aligns with your spouse or your spouse's dream, right? There must be a meeting point. There must be a meeting point. So don't lose yourself. Don't change your temperament.
Yes.
You don't change. You adjust.
Be yourself.
Yes, there must be a meeting point because it's that diversity that actually makes that makes the relationship sweeter.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If everybody is all gentle.
If both of us were like me in this relationship,
or if both of us were like me,
no, it won't work.
It won't work. So that the beauty is the spice there is
yes,
the beauty,
the
right?
diversity.
Yeah, so that's what makes it beautiful. So don't lose yourself, right?
At all.
Don't lose
At
yourself.
all.
So bring in that beautiful thing about you. Yeah, someone like me, I'm a go-getter. So if I say I want to do something, I go for it, and you must do it, right? So you in that relationship, bring that beautiful thing about you, right? And see how it aligns with your spouse.
Yeah.
Right. Give room for your spouse to it's all right. So that is it.
I think there's something that we need to address too regarding that question, because you're coming as yourself, but the truth remains that there are some things about you that are not so, how do I put it now? Some of the probably characters or some of your ideas or perception about things are not 100% right or 100% accurate. We should also be open to learning.
Yeah.
Be open to correction. Yes, come as you are, be yourself, but then when you're being corrected about something or you
still to make adjustments.
Yes, be able to make adjustments, be flexible.
Yeah.
We're not saying change your personality, we're not saying change who you are, but then there are some set basic things about life that is just there's a generally acceptable standard. Let me put it that way. So if it comes to your notice or your spouse brings it to your notice that, oh, this thing that you are doing, the way you handle this thing is not, I don't think we should do it that way. Please be open
to adjustment.
Yeah.
Especially if those things are of good report.
Yes.
Like the way the scripture says, is they are good report. Say think on those things. So it's good to make adjustments. But when we talk about bringing yourself, we're not talking about bringing your bad self.
Yes,
we're not talking about bringing your bad behavior. We're not talking about bringing that, those things that need to be adjusted. We're talking about bringing your true self of uniqueness in terms of your value, your talent, your purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Because we want to encourage individuality of purpose even in this relationship.
Yeah.
Even in relationship, we want to encourage that. So, and have a self-reflection and create boundaries. Right? What I mean is create boundaries in terms of stay true to your conviction. Right? In as much as those convictions are of good report.
Yes.
Right? Not the conviction of like me, this is how I like doing my things. Even if that thing you say you like doing is not in accordance with the scripture, it does not make a family go forward, it does not bring togetherness and unity. So that is it for me. I know nothing you want to say.
No. I think you have done justice to answering the question, and it has really been nice.
To the best of our knowledge.
And our experience, and based on the scripture that we know. We are trusting the Lord. So it was really nice talking and trying to discuss the questions. And I hope you have been able to pick one or two things from the questions that we've answered. So that's all from us.
Yes, that's all from us. So we wish you the best
in your relationship.
Right. So if you have not been opening up to your spouse, please open up. Tell him or her everything. Right, including your money.
Everything.
And if possible, have a joint account.
That's conversation for another day.
All right.
Thank you so much for having us. Bye.